Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the stream. It's Ben here from Airline to Sim, and it's been a little while, but hey, I'm back, and I've just installed P3D version 5, so I thought it might be quite good fun to see if I can fly an aeroplane that we put in one of our training programs a few years ago. I haven't flown it in years, so I thought it might be good fun just to see if I still know how to fly this, and also what P3D version 5 looks like. So we're in the old Q400. There's a few mods to this particular cockpit. It has the dirty windshield texture, which is kind of cool. It's not dynamic, by the way. You can't like wash it off or anything. It's not like True Glass or anything, but it looks kind of cool. And a few little mods inside the cockpit. This is the old Flyby little bugs. Don't know why you wouldn't have the heading bugs coupled. It's kind of weird, but anyway, whatever. So there we are. There we are outside, a very purple aeroplane. And this is UK 2000 Bristol HD, which is alright, not bad. Some of the textures that are hidden away are not the best. Like the roof textures here are not amazing. But actually it's a pretty decent airport, and it's got all the cars and everything. And then looking out there, this is ORBX Truearth, which from this kind of altitude, just a couple of 100 feet in the air, doesn't look that great, to be honest. But once you get up in the air, it looks a lot better. And I've actually got the whole of the UK. So I've got England and Wales and Scotland. That's obviously Wales over there. It's Cardiff. And it looks great. Once you get about 900 feet in the air, it looks really good. So you can see over there in the distance, it looks good. It even has a little transmitter. This is the, I believe, this is the Mendip transmitter for, I think KISS is on there, and Classic FM and a few others, and I think some TV stations for the Southwest as well. So it's pretty cool. So we'll have a look at that. This is True Sky, which is now standard in P3D version 5. And I have the cloud set on Ultra, so everything is pretty much cranked up in this as far as it'll go. So the settings are not quite high, like Ultra on everything, but pretty much everything is cranked up. The Q400 does run amazingly well in this sim. I mean, the Q400 always worked well, but in P3D version 5, it's amazeballs. It's so good. It never ever goes. At the moment I don't know if you can see the frame rate. I think I've hidden the frame rate. You can't see it on the stream, but I can see it, and it's 30. I could unlock the frames, and we would probably get 60, but we might not get 60 everywhere. So I'm using a little tweak, which is called the 30 Hertz refresh, and that's what's forcing the frames to 30. So in the sim, the frames are unlimited, but I'm using the monitor's own refresh rate to force it to 30 FPS. So that's where we are. Right, what do we need to do? I guess we need to program the FMC. That's probably the first port of call. So let me do that. No, hang on. I've got my Simbrief flight plan here. How does this aeroplane work? Right, flight plan. We are at Bristol, EGGD, enter, and we're going to Liverpool. So, what is it? Menu, depart, it's all coming back to me now. Runway 27, that's number 2, and we're going to take the Bracken 1 X-ray, SID, so do that, and that will dump it in the flight plan. Yep, okay. Then from Bracken, we're going to take the November 864. So list, airway, November 864. That takes us to Monty. Where's Monty? Monty 17. And then from Monty, that's then the arrival. So EGGD is Liverpool. Accept that. Menu, arrive. Whoa, okay, why is it not picking up Liverpool? I've done something wrong. I think it's... Oh, okay, that's weird. Menu, arrive. Okay, let me type this in. EGGD. I can't remember how the stupid FMS works in this aeroplane. Right, there you go. Oh! No, no, we're going to... Liverpool. Oh, what am I doing? EGGD. Oh, no. Oh, no! Wait, let me delete that. Liverpool's EG... too many G's. P. There you go. Is that right? EGGP. Yes, that's correct. God. Right. EGGP. Okay. Enter. Right, there we are. That's it. And we're going to land on runway 27, which is number 2. We're going to take the Kegan... What is it? 1 Delta, which is number 1. Right, and the approach is the ILS, which is number 1 again. And there's no transition. Right, now, let me just go in and sequence all this. So that all looks right, that all looks right. There's a no link at Monty. So let me... How do we delete this again? God, I've forgotten everything. Right, there you go, delete. Okay, Monty's in twice, which we don't want. So that's Keegan. Okay, Keegan's in again twice. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that and give us a bit of vectoring. So we're just going to come from Keegan straight to the ILS. That will make sense. Right. That's the go around, so that's fine. And nav, there we go. Right. Okay. Any questions on stream right now? ZK says, dude, where have you been? Well, if I told you, you probably wouldn't believe me, really. So, I went to live in Beirut in Lebanon for about 2 years, and that was kind of fun. But in the end, it became a bit stressful because they had a big like revolution, basically. So I wasn't really getting an awful lot done in Beirut, really, towards the end. So I decided it was time to leave, and I got a new job in Saudi Arabia, working for a big oil company there. And just before I could go to Saudi Arabia, I got trapped here in the UK because of the coronavirus thing. So that's kind of where I've been for the last, I don't know, year is it or something? Any news about the 320? By the way, let me know, guys, because I can see the stream, but I can't hear the sound. Just let me know if you can hear me and everything's working all right. Just let me know. Any news about the 320 program? Yes, there is news about the 320 program, and I will share some of that with you on the stream in a little while. Right, now, let me have a look at the SID. So we're doing the, what did we say? Menu, where it shows you the clearance, this thing, doesn't it? What is it? Menu clearance. There you go. So it's the Bracken 1 X-ray. Okay, hang on. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so the Bracken 1 X-ray. Basically, we take off when we turn left and we go to Bracken. Not above 6,000 feet. Okay, straight ahead, 5.4 on the ILS, and then left turn to Bracken and not above 6,000 feet. Right, okay, that's fine. That's good. Now, if I was being a really good boy, I would tune up all the VORs. I'd tune Bracken and I'd tune the ILS and all that, but I can't be bothered to do all that. It's gonna fly it all in. Oh no, we're going for 2.7, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's fine. So 267. get the heading bug on the runway heading, which is there. Put the acceleration altitude in, which is there. So Bristol 1,640 is the acceleration altitude, which is all good. Right. What haven't we done? Heading select, go around outsail, 6,000 feet, runway heading 267, and we're departing in the pink. Nav source is on FMS 1, which means it will follow the FMS commands. Great. Let's give ourselves a made-up squawk, 2764. And let's check that the nose wheel steering isn't on, which it isn't, which is good. Let's get the APU started. Okay, ding. Does a little self-test, and we press start, and that's it. And then when that's started, in fact, I'll turn the bleed air on now. Oh, reset fans can go on, seatbelt sign and no smoking can go on, and somebody forgot the position light. Naughty. Right. Now, I feel like I should have done something else. Ah, yes, I need the speeds. Right, there's the bleed air. So that's good. So, put the gen on, and the external power can come off. It's noisy. Services, GPU. Okay, how do we have external power if we didn't have... Don't quite understand that. Were we on the batteries the whole time? That's weird. Very strange. Aeroplane. Alright, whatever. Okay, so we don't have any external power connected. That was strange. So we're doing all that on the batteries. Wow. Got some comments. Right, so who have we got? Calvis, I've missed these streams. Good to see you back. Thank you. It's nice to be back. Liam, how are you, man? Good evening. No worries. And the Badameko, did you simply point the setup to the P3V5 folder? Yes, I did. So I just... what did I do? Oh my god, I'm trying to remember how I installed it. How did I install it? I think in the setup I just pointed it at P3D V5 and it worked. I think that's what I did. I'll double check that if I remember. Daniel D, hello. Hello, my friend. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Right, in case you just joined us, we are in the Flybe Q400, and we are flying from Bristol to Liverpool in the Flybe livery. I know that Flybe, I don't think they did fly from Bristol to Liverpool. In fact, I think from Liverpool they only flew to the Isle of Man, and that was it. But anyway, whatever. It's a nice livery, and if it wasn't for Flybe, there would be no airline to sim. So I'm very grateful to Flybe for existing. Now, I'm distracted again, because I can't multitask, which you'll know if you've ever watched any of the programs. I need to do the fuel page, that's what I haven't done. Right, so what we do here is we just put the zero fuel weight straight in, which is 24... That's the takeoff weight. Oh no, it's not. 24,626. 24,626. Go. Fuel on board is 2,100. Minus a bit for the APU, but that's enough for me. Alright, that's a gross weight. 26,726. Tidgy bit more than on my flight plan, but I can't be bothered to work out the maths now. It's within 100 kilos, so that's fine. Alternate is Manchester, and we need 245 kilos to get there. And then the final reserve fuel is 638. And that's everything we need. Oh, I think maybe I should put the extra, the final reserve in there, and then change that to 0. I think. Can't remember how we did it now. Anyway, that looks close enough. So that's the alternate, that's the final reserve, that's the fuel on board, that's the gross weight, that's the 0 fuel weight, that's all we need. Right, so 26,725, actually quite heavy. So we'll go with flaps 5 and 27,000. It's 130, 130, 132. So 130, 130, 132. Okay, and then we need to do V-climb and V-fry. So V-fry at 28 is 142 and 154. Okay, 142 and 154. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so V1 is the go, no-go speed. After that we can't reject. V-rotate, we pull the stick back. V2 is the single engined climb out speed, but hopefully that won't happen. Can't retract the flaps below 142 knots. And 154 is best rate of climb speed, I think, if I remember correctly. And the acceleration altitude is 1,640 feet. So the plan is, whoa, we've steamed up. Apparently the real Q400 doesn't do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I suppose I could just taxi forward. I think it's a taxi in, taxi out down this. There's nothing there. Right, let's do that. Then I don't need the meme that is GSX. So we're going to go straight ahead. We're going to turn left and we're going to go down there. We're taking off that direction. So what I need to do then is go along this taxiway here that you now can't see because the window's steamed up. And then we're going to shoot off down the runway, which is over there, and we're going to go straight ahead to, he said, we're going to go straight ahead to 5 miles on the ILS, which I would tune if I wasn't so lazy, but the aeroplane knows where it is, it's fine. And then we're going to turn right, and that takes us then to Bracken, and we can't climb above 6,000 feet until ATC, which is me, says we can. So there we are, that's the plan. Right. The APU's on, that's all good. We've still got a door open, so let's close that. Quick refresher on the screens in the dash. Normally Flybe used to have the doors on the left and the electrical page on the right. Now, because of the unique way in which the dash is built, it only has one system control. So if I press doors, then it goes to his side, and if I go to sys on mine, then it puts the electrical page on my side. So the only way to get the doors on my side is to press doors again, and then put his side back to sys. It's really retarded. Stupid airplane, but anyway, that's how it works. So put my side back to nav. What else? I've got terrain on. Electrical page on his side, that's fine. Right. Okay. God. This plane gives me a headache. Right, so pre-flight documentation's on board, batteries, all 3 need to be on and they're checked. So down here, making sure that the temperature is not running away. One weird thing is the battery should show the outside ambient temperature apparently, and in the dash, in the Majestic they don't. So that'd be nice to fix. That should be whatever the outside temperature is now. But anyway, but the volts are good. Need about 26, 27 volts for engine start. Okay. So batteries are done, main bus tie, external power's off, APU's on, bus voltages are fine, safety equipment, landing gear, lights and pins, so they're down, and where's the pins, because if we take off with the pins, there you go, that's fine, we're good, we've got the pins in there, otherwise we won't be able to put the gear up. Engine intake doors green, although apparently Flybe changed it, and they just leave those on all the time now, so I'll do that. Circuit breakers in, alt gear door, don't worry about all that. Fire and smoke detection, I did all that before. APU bleed can stay on for a sec. Recirc fans on. Pressurization, yeah, that's something we forgot. Right, we're going to Liverpool. Liverpool is pretty much sea level. I mean, you can see the sea, so I'm going to call that up there. That'll do. Pressurization checked. Packs should be at the moment off. And the bleeds on min, which they are. Emergency lights should be armed, which, where's the emergency lights? I don't know where the emergency lights are, but anyway, they're armed. I saw them earlier. Oh, there they are. Right, yes, armed. Fuel transfer should be off for engine start, which it is, and the quantity's checked. We need 2 tons to go, which we have. What else? Parking brake. The brake is on and the pressure is that one, which is good. Power and condition levers, disc and fuel off, which is down there. Nose wheel steering needs to be off, which it is. The FMS is set, and the takeoff departure brief is complete for what it is. Right. Okay. So, start checklist then. Trims need to be in the white, which they are, and a few clicks to the right on the rudder trim, otherwise it's hard to keep it straight. Door refueling lights, that's up here, which is out. Passenger signs are on. Camera report, this is received from our imaginary flight crew. Flight deck doors locked. Anti-collision light comes to red. APU bleed comes off the engine start, and the battery master is on. And the volts are, we need 26, 27 for engine start, which we've got. Alright, so that's cool. Right, so now we can start engine number 2. So we do that, press select. Apparently start the chrono at this point as well, which I'll probably forget to do. And looking for, whoa! Okay, by the way, I don't have any controls for my props. I'm just doing it with the mouse, because I only have a tiny little joystick here. All my stuff is not around. So we could have a classic Matt Davis moment when I try and put the props back later on. Wish me luck with that. Right, let's go to the chat. Right. Who we got? Daniel D, hello, first time here. Hi Daniel D, nice to have you with us, mate. Hugo Lemaire, nice to hear you back. Thank you. Liam pointed at the V5. Yes, if you pointed at the V5, it should just work. ESR Le Mans works in V5. Ah, yes, I might give that a go. Although I lost the files. I don't have the files with me anymore. They're abroad in the Middle East. Daniel D, don't fly an airplanes don't exist anymore. It is sad what happened to Flybe. Calvis has become A320 rated. I love that. That's so funny. Well done, mate. Well done. Cheers from Dammam, Saudi Arabia. Joining Aramco. Yes, I am joining Aramco. Correct. In fact, I already joined Aramco, and you can hear me on Saudi Aramco Radio Studio 2, which is the radio station there every single morning, but not from Saudi Arabia. I'm still doing it from here. Right. NH is rising. So there we go. Right, that's all good. Yeah, I may well not get to Saudi Arabia until, I don't know, August maybe? By which time I imagine it's going to be quite hot. But we'll see. Alright, so we just heard a clink. That's the engine starting. Right, so we've got 2 good engine starts. Perfect. Go back to the after start flow. There's so much to do in this aeroplane. I forgot how hard work it is. Wait for the start light to go out, and that all looks good. Right, okay, so we can turn the APU gen off and then the APU power. The main bus tie can come off. What else? The pitos can stay where they are for now. We can turn the packs on to bleed, but leave that on min. I'm going to turn the temperature control to the middle, because that means that we get control. If you leave it to the left, that means that the cabin crew have control, and apparently they screw it up quite a lot. Right, what else do we need to do? I need to put these to max, so let's do that. Yeah, look at that sound, I love it. There we go. Sounds right. There was more to do. So electrical panels checked, conditioning is max. So auto feather on. Let's get the fuel pumps on. Let's do the hydraulic PTU. Let's do the test. So we bring the yoke in, and then we just push it forward, and we're looking for the number 3 to go up and down. That's why we do this test, and looks like it's working. Oh, I think you've got to turn the gust lock off before you do that, otherwise you stretch the aileron cables. There you go. So that's working. Right, cool. And then when you turn that off, you'll notice when I do that, number 3 drops and stays down. That's why you turn it on. When this is switched on, it repressurizes number 3 all the time. So this little test is just to make sure that number 3 repressurizes like it should. Right, I'll hide the yokes because they get a bit annoying when they dance around. Right, what else was there to do? Flaps and speeds. So we're going off of flap 5. So we have flap 5 indicated, flap 5 selected, and the V-speeds are in. Rudder, let's just check that works. A bit worried why there. Okay, there we are. That's all good. Let's turn the nose wheel steering back on. We've got to check the PFD, so heading select, go around outcell, 6,000 feet, runway heading, and we're departing in the pink. Bleeds are on a min, de-ice pressure, which is all the way over here. Ooh, my camera's a bit slow, isn't it? I should have set up a view for this, sorry about that, guys. Right, so de-ice pressure is this one, which I think is 19, is good. Ice protection we don't need. I'm going to leave the pitos off for now, and that's on warm up, and that's on. Probably wouldn't need it on a day like today, but the Q400 kind of fogs up, so we'll leave it on. And transponder in TCAS, so click that, and it goes to on and alt. Right, now, I only very briefly set up my controls earlier on. And I've got a joystick and a very basic throttle, and that's basically it, and some kind of cheapy rudder pedals I bought from Amazon. So I don't have anything very special to help me fly this airplane. Oops, taxi light, that was something I forgot. Naughty. I've already failed my check ride. Right, so what we'll do is we'll scoot around here. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. I haven't assigned my something to steer with, which would be good. So hang on, let me. Whoops, no. Wait. Okay, I'm going to assign the spoiler. Where is it? Spoilers. There we go. Right. Okay, and it doesn't like that. Okay. Stupid flight sim. Right. Okay, taxi. There we go. There we go. We've now got steering, which is good. On the ground, which is useful. Right. Let's try this again. Are we turning? Are we turning? Yes, we're turning. Thank God for that. Now, I'm using the twist on the joystick to steer. Now, I'm kind of the opinion in flight sim world that it's a bit easier just to steer with your feet, like you do if you're taxiing a little Cessna or a little, you know, Piper Tomahawk or something. The reason being that it just keeps your hands free to, you know, manipulate the view and stuff like that. I kind of don't really like add-ons that force you to taxi the aeroplane with another device, because then you have to keep hold of the throttles, you have to steer with another hand, and you have to move the mouse around. So I've always been a bit kind of anti-installing a tiller, but anyway, that's what I've done with this aeroplane. I've actually installed the tiller on the joystick twist, so that's left and that's right. Didn't do the brake check. Do the brakes work? Yeah, they do. I don't know why my panning isn't very smooth, is it? Fix that later on. Right, here we are then. Okay, so brake on. Taxi light off, we're not moving. Let me put what am I doing? I'm going to put him onto nav so you can see that. I'm going to cancel that. Quick check of the comments. VC Lucian, hello. The sound is a bit funny. The sim sound is a bit high. Okay, let me just fix that. I didn't really get a chance to fix all the sounds, so apologies if it's a bit loud. Right, let's try that, and let me know how we get on if that's a bit better. Some sounds a bit high. Okay, fixed it. Right, before takeoff, so let's do that now. So anti-collision light goes to white. Landing lights can come on. I'll put the taxi light on again. Turn it off when we get clear for takeoff. By me. Pitos can come on. Go around heading and outsell, because that's the big killer in the Q400. If you get that wrong, you've got big problems. And the caution and warning panel, so that's this, should be... Oh, I don't like that little Windows loading thing. Alright, it's gone now. This, once I let the parking brake off, should be clear. And as long as that's clear, then we're good to go. Oh, a couple of things I didn't do. Wait, let me put the brake back on. I didn't do the taxi checklist, so... See, this is what happens when you don't fly an airplane for a long time. I need to put the yaw damper on. We did the hydraulic, we did the clearances, we did cabin clear. The only other thing was just the takeoff warning. Now, if you try and do this with the brake on, it goes off. So I'm going to let the brake off, do it. Okay, we're still getting it. Why are we still getting the takeoff warning? Why are we getting the takeoff warning? Come on, Ben. Think. Ah! Is it because that's in taxi? No, I don't think that should do anything. Why are we getting the takeoff warning? Why are we getting the takeoff warning? Why? Why, damn it? Is the trim? Is it the trim? No. It's in the takeoff band. Is it because the elevators are doing something weird? Why are we getting the takeoff warning? I can't see anything wrong. We set the flaps. Do you have any ideas? Trim? No, trim's good. Right, so I'm going to let the brake off. Something weird going on. Is there something weird going on with my controls? Why are we getting the takeoff warning? I don't know why we're getting the takeoff warning. Wait, is it... Do I need to put this to flight? No. I don't know why we're getting the takeoff warning. That's really weird. There too. Top, that's all good. Auto feathers on. What else would give us the takeoff warning? Spoilers to flight? Yeah, I did that, and then we're still getting the takeoff warning. I don't understand. Is it broken in V5? Is something broken? The nozzle steering's on. I don't know. Is it? Have we? It was fine. I've flown it a couple of times in V5 and it was fine. I don't know. What would we do? Do we call Flybe and say, "Hey, listen, we're trying to take off, but we're getting the takeoff caution. Bleeds are on min. We did all that. Yeah, everything looks good. I know. I don't understand. I don't understand why we're getting the takeoff warning. Okay, you know what? I think maybe it's just something screwy with my controller. What I don't like is how oh, look, when I brake, the elevators go up and down. Oh my god. Right, wait. Oh, god. Flight sim. Can you imagine what it's like trying to film in Flight Sim? Right, let me just check all my assignments. So, Aileron, that's aileron. Okay. And then rescan, that's elevator. Good. Right, that's rudder. Okay, left brake and right brake. And then throttle. So what's going on with the aeroplane? Why? You know what? We're just going to go. You know what? We're just going to go. Because, like, seriously. I mean, I think I know how to fly the aeroplane. So we're just going to go. Yeah, if you do... I remember when we did the Q400 program. If you do the takeoff warning test with the parking brake on, then it goes off. But... I don't know, this is so weird. I don't know why the... Okay, I don't know. Stupid aeroplane. This is probably where we crash. And I go, oh yeah, that was why. That was why. Silly me. Don't try this at home, kids. Don't try this at home. Right. So that's all set. That's all set. That's all set. That's all set. Right. We're gonna go. Why are we going to take off caution? Don't know. I don't know why. We might find out why in a minute. Whoa. It's quite hard to steer in V5. It's harder than I remember it was in FSX. Right. Why is the takeoff warning going on? Okay. That's weird. We took off way before V1. Whoa, what's going on? Right, okay. You're up. Uh-huh. Feels weird. It feels weird to fly. Alright, autopilot in. Pitch to 210. Whoops, other way. Okay, IAS 210. It's like weirdly nose up. It's super weird. Okay. Alright, so we're through the flap speed, so let's go flaps up. This is probably where I look outside and there's a tug attached to it or something. Right, okay, let's turn that off. Why is it bouncing up and down? Is this an easy dock thing? By the way, you are basically just tuning in... Oh, okay, could be the dynamic head movement. Let me turn this down a bit. You guys are basically just seeing my... Okay, that's a bit better. Right. Okay, there we go. Right. Now the terrifying bit, which is bringing these back. So that's enough. It's a bit scary. Right. Okay. Oh, I need to press nav, otherwise not going to. There you go. That was close. It's quite stressful flying a virtual aeroplane. Right. So we're going to level off at 6, so we can enjoy the view and not get stressed out. I'm going to keep us going up to 12,000. It's already at 1013, so that's fine. Right. We can turn off the taxi lights. Or what else would we do? Chime the cabin crew. Ding dong. Right, well, we've done everything. Flaps. Let's do the after takeoff checklist. Quite stressful flying an aeroplane. Decided. Right, so landing gears up. Flaps are 0. Bleeds are... Oh yes, bleeds on a norm. And climb power set. Right, that's looking beautiful. Line up the heading bug with where we're going. We're going to 12,000. I can wind off the MDA, because that's fine. And we can breathe. Oh my god, it's stressful. Right, so we have a look outside. So this is ORBX Truearth, I think. I hope, unless the scenery library screwed itself up. This is Newport, I think, down here. Yep, I think that's Newport, and then Cardiff is a bit around the corner there. And over here, out the window, these are the Bracken Beacons, and we are, in fact, we're going to Bracken, aren't we? Which is a bit further on. So there's Bracken. So we're actually going to go right into the heart of the Bracken Beacons, which is up here. So that's kind of cool. Right, what was our cruising altitude? 160, so let's just keep going. 160. Alright, so we're through 10. So let's turn those off. And let's turn... Where's the seatbelt sign gone? There it is. Right, cool. Alright. I feel like we can relax for a moment. Let me go back to the chit-chat. What was it, says Liam? Liam, I've no idea what it was. I don't know why we got the... I don't know why we got the takeoff warning. There was no reason for it. The only thing I can think is perhaps it was the trim, but the trim's got to be in the white band, and it was. So, I don't know. I mean, we took off all right, but we... we lifted off way before V1. You remember when we went down the runway and we lifted off about 20 knots before V1? It just lifted off the runway. Now I did all the performance, and I did load the fuel, and I did load the payload. I'm wondering whether we are actually not as heavy as I think we are. I wonder whether it's added the payload, because we should be. Our takeoff weight's 27,000. And that's actually only about, well, the max takeoff weight of this thing is 29,500, and we took off at 26,004. So we took off actually quite heavy, and it leapt off the ground. I wonder whether in V5 it doesn't, in the control panel, whether it actually loads the weight properly. I suspect something has gone a bit wrong there, because it felt really weird on the takeoff. It like jumped off the runway, so that could be a little bug. I mean, remember, of course, this aeroplane is not officially supported in V5. It just kind of works, but it doesn't mean that the control panel's not broken. So ORBX Truearth people, I think that is this is Wales below us. That's, I don't know, this could be like Cumbrana somewhere, maybe. Any Welsh people listening, that could be the M4. Is that no, the M4 I think runs a bit closer to the sea than that. Oh, it could be the M4. I don't know, if we look around, see if it goes over to the Severn Bridge, then it is definitely the M4. But, whoops, one to go. Let's keep an eye on this, because it's the Dash 8, it's going to try and kill us. That's alright, that'll level off, that'll be fine. Okay, and then when we get to the level off... Oh, let me trim, first of all. Now, oh, why would it open that? Oh, there you go. Now, what we do is, I should have trimmed it earlier on with the aileron trim. So what we're going to do is slide the little triangle over the big one. So, with a bit of left trim, we'll do that. There you go, that's in trim now. Although, when we level out, it'll probably go out of trim again. So I'll have to fix that again. Incorrect trim. Maybe well, the trim for takeoff has to be in the yellow, in the white band, which it was. It was in the middle of the white band. So the trim was set, the flaps were set. I don't know what else would set. I mean, back when I did the Q400 program 5 years ago, I could have named you all the things that would set off the takeoff warning, but I can't remember now because it was a long time ago. Right, so we got out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put these back to min without putting it in start feather, because that will screw everything up. So, and I don't have a controller to do this, I've just got to do it with the mouse. So, wish me luck. Okay, oh my god, this is terrifying. Oh my god, we got it. Ah, that was really scary. Right, now we can leave those there, because when we land, we'll do a reduced power landing, which is this one. So basically what happens when you press that button, if we go around, they will automatically go back up to full. So we don't need to touch these again until we stop in Liverpool. That's the plan anyway. Right. This is going alright so far, apart from the slightly weird takeoff. This is all going alright. Scenery looks really nice. I mean, I guess this is a bit like what Microsoft 2020 will look like, I guess. Not that I've seen it, honest. Beautiful. So this is the... So I got the whole country, got the whole of the UK. And they have done a really nice job in X-Plane. It's even better in X-Plane than it is in P3D. The beak, actually, we think... we just went over Bracken. Probably, if we looked outside, you might even be able to see the VOR. It's down there somewhere. You can see it. You can definitely see it on Google. I think it's behind us now. You can definitely see the actual VOR, the Bracken VOR. You can actually see it on Google Maps. I've flown over it in real life. I actually learned to fly in Cardiff, not very far from here. That's where I learned to get my PPL. So yeah, it's looking good. So far, so good. Anything else going on in the chit chat? No, very quiet today. I think you're just enjoying the view. So there we are. Sorry, there's a little bit of a crackle. You might have noticed. I don't know whether you can hear it, but there's a little bit of a crackle on my sound card in my new PC. There's a little crackle on the output, which is a bit annoying. You can't really hear it in a Q400 because it's so noisy, even though the Q stands for quiet. But there's a little crackle, so sorry about that, guys. It kind of comes and goes, and every time I fix it, and then I think, yay, and then it returns, which is a bit annoying, but anyway. But, no, V5 is looking good. So, yeah, that's, that, I think, is Cardiff over there. I used to live in Cardiff a long time ago. Cool. It does look really nice, though, doesn't it? Look at the scenery. It looks great. And the only time I had a frame rate issue, you can fly in V5 with amazing frame rates everywhere. The only time I had a frame rate issue was actually down here at ORBX Cardiff, which comes as part of the scenery, and it was horrible. So I swapped it out for the UK 2000 one, and it was fine. So I don't know. Explain that. It's weird. It looks good. So nice to be flying over actual scenery, like, you know, this is what it actually looks like. That little wobble there was me taking my feet off the pedal. Sorry about that, boys. Right, Liam asked about future airline sim products, which is very good. Now let me go back in the flight deck because I don't want it to overspeed or break itself, which it might. In fact, before I get distracted, let me set a top of descent. Open Zoom on my laptop. I don't want to do that. I'll end up having a conversation with someone. Right, so we're going to Liverpool, and I'm just going to check the star real quick. So we're doing the Kegund 1 Delta. So, but we're not really going to fly much of the star, to be honest. Kegund 1 Delta basically comes from Monty. So let's have a look in the flight plan, and then we go next, I think. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, wait, I've got to change the form. There you go. Change the form. There you go. Right, so we're going to Umulo. Whoops. Right, so there we go. So we're going Otemonti Kegun, and then from Kegun, we're just going to go right, and then we're just going to vector ourselves back round on the ILS. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to fly us to Kegun, and then we're just going to kind of basically vector ourselves round onto runway 27. So, Kegun, max 210, does it give me... I'm just seeing if there's no altitude restriction at Kegun. What I could do is I could ask the VNAV to get us to 2,000 feet at Charlie Foxtrot 27. Whether that'll work or not, I don't know. We just need to keep an eye on the speed because we're getting a little bit close to the barber pole there. But I'm going to leave it for now. We'll keep an eye on that. Right, so... Come on. Come on, open the FMS. Open the FMS. I found V5 a little bit buggy like this on a lot of airplanes. If you open the FMC, you click the click spot and you open it, it crashes. That's happened to me on a few airplanes. Okay, I'm just not going to open the FMC, so we'll do it this way. VNav to... we'll go to the center fix of 27, so that's number 7. And we want to be at 2,000 feet, and we'll come down at 2,000 feet a minute. Okay, that's worked. So, top of descent in 30, just under 39 miles in 6 minutes. Right, okay, cool. So what we'll do now is, let's give ourselves a sensible altitude to come down to. So let's say we're going to come down to 7,000. I don't know what the transalt is in the report, whatever. Outsell, and then in a moment we'll get the VNav, the little pink magenta path thing, and then I can press V. If I press VNav, nothing happens now, but in a minute, once we get the VNav descent path, I press VNav, it will arm. Right, where were we? Sorry, I got distracted. What settings do I have on V5? It says Calvia. I have pretty much everything is I'm not going to tab out of the sim into the menus now, but I have the clouds are on ultra, and everything else is pretty much near the maximum. In the Q400, I just crank everything up as high as it will go, and it works fine. I get 30. At the moment, we're getting 30 FPS. I'm using the screen refresh tweak. So basically, my monitor, it's a 4K monitor, and it will run at 30 Hertz. So all I do is in the monitor settings, the NVIDIA monitor settings, I just force the monitor to run at 30 Hertz. And then when I run the sim with unlimited frames and VSync on and triple buffer on, the sim forces itself to run at 30 frames a second. And I find it really smooth, even though obviously it's not as smooth as 60 frames a second. At 30, as long as you get 30, which you always do in the dash, then you get a really nice smooth experience. So that's what I do. I've done that for years and years and years. In the Q400 in V5, if you just dial the settings back a little bit, you can run it at 60 FPS like everywhere. And I was toying with the idea of actually doing a stream in 60 FPS because it's amazing. Like, it's a much more fluid experience. I might try that. I might do a little test and see if it works and we get 60 everywhere. I'll do another flight at 60 FPS and you'll see just the difference in fluidity. It's pretty cool. In another aeroplane which I've imported into V5 that I'm not going to mention because I'm a developer, I couldn't get 60 FPS, but I do get in the 40s if I unrestrict the frame. So if I run it at 60 Hertz, so that allows basically a frame rate up to 60 FPS, I can get like 45, 50, 55, which is pretty cool. In an aeroplane that in probably V4 you would get maybe 10 or 20% less than that. So I'm very, very, very impressed with V5 so far. Some people not that... controllers usually like you below flight level 60. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, actually, I had a chat with one of my friends, flies for TUI, and he flew for Ryanair out of Liverpool, and he said that, you know, you'll often be kept very low flying in and out of Liverpool flight level just because of Manchester. So yeah, you could be right there. Well, to be honest, if we are the VNav descent point is bringing us to 2,000 at the center fix, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be oh, there you go. Right, there's the VNav descent point, so now I can press VNav, and when we get to the top of descent, which I think is just a little bit off the screen, it will start descending. I need to be quick to bring the power back because it will just descend itself into the red line and overspeed. Then I'll be very sad. What? Oh God, it's very hard to... I don't know how streamers kind of stream and fly an airplane at the same time. I can't do it. I can't concentrate on two things at the same time. So Liam was asking me about Airline to Sim. So here's the deal. Last year we did the Amsterdam program, which was just kind of a little, just a mini little program that was just meant to fill in a bit of time because I had a little bit of time to do it, and Amsterdam is an airport that had always massively confused me because it's got lots of runways and it was all quite confusing. So we did the Amsterdam program with some little videos which showed you how things work at Amsterdam, and a GSX file for the airport which stopped GSX memeing as much as it does normally. And that was all good and everyone liked that. We got great reviews from FS Elite and stuff, so I was super happy. Then we pushed out the Greek Islands thing, and that's where we taught you about the arrivals and departures at Corfu and Samos and Skiathos. That was kind of fun. That was with Nick Collett, the guy who flew the 717 for Volotea out of those airfields. So that was cool. What happened then? Then I got a new job because I was working in Lebanon for a radio station, an English radio station there, and then I got a new job for another radio station there called Virgin, which is a radio station I still work at. So I kind of moved jobs and I moved house and all my stuff was packed up, and then there was like some crazy revolution thing in Lebanon. People started protesting in the streets and shooting guns, and it was all a bit crazy. So I came back to the UK for a little while and then went back to Lebanon, and things didn't really improve. And then in the end I ended up applying for a job in Saudi Arabia, which is where I'm headed next. So it's been the reason that there's not been much going on the airline to sim front is just I just haven't had time. I mean, I haven't had time to even fly the sim. This is the first time I've flown the Dash since, I don't know, in years. So you know, just life gets in the way. That's kind of the challenge really of being a developer, you know, kind of working on your own. Like, you know, so many people in the flight sim world are a bit like me. They're people who, you know, they're flight sim nerds. I'm just like you guys. I love flight sim. I'm a complete nerd. Whoopsie, this is exactly what I said it would do, so let's do that. Alright, okay, we can send it idle. Great, that's good. And you see it's gone out of trim again. So slide the little triangle over the big one is how you keep it in trim. So 1 click, 2 clicks, and that's back in trim. Cool. So yeah, life just got in the way a little bit really, which is a bit disappointing and a bit annoying. One thing we did manage to do last year, before everything kind of kicked off, is do all the filming for the Airbus program. So all the filming's done, and there's some really cool stuff in there. The guy that is training you is from a well-known orange airline, and it's kind of a youngish guy, really cool, really funny, and we did loads of really cool things. We did the RNAV visual into Nice, we did the VOR into Mallorca, we did the circle to land at Split, the circle to land at Dubrovnik. We did stuff like Cat 3, stuff like, you know, landing inhibit, and just little things that I didn't even know, like how to turn the auto thrust off in the Airbus is a bit weird. You know, when you kind of kick off the auto thrust and it goes smooth throttles and all that kind of stuff. All of that really confused me. So we clear all that out, and there's lots of stuff. The ATSU obviously came along, so we look at the ATSU and how that all works and everything else. There's loads of cool stuff in the Airbus. It's probably twice as long as any course we've done. It's probably twice as long as the 777. It's probably more like a kind of cadet and first officer kind of rolled into one. So I'm pretty pumped for it, but it's just a vast amount of work. There's a vast amount of work in editing all the videos and putting all the graphics in. So bear with me. I'm working on it as we speak, and hopefully it'll be out pretty soon. Everybody moans at me about the Airbus. Everyone I see goes, "When's the Airbus going to be out?" And I'm like, I don't know. But it'll be good. I'd rather it be good than rushed, if that makes sense. Daniel D, what do you Amsterdam confuses you, good luck with Paris. You know, weirdly, the guy who did our Airbus program, his girlfriend, she flew for another well-known orange airline out of Paris. And we did talk about, you know, something that, oh no, I was going to say, I didn't line up the heading bug with where we're going, which is naughty, but I did. We were actually going to do an airline to sim product. We were going to do Paris, because Paris is a really confusing airport, and they have some really strange procedures there. Apparently they vector you with the ILS at like 30 miles and stuff. Loads of weird things happen in Paris. But again, we just kind of run out of time. And the other problem is that the Paris scenery, the Taxi to Gate Paris, is a good one, but it's quite out of date now. So I kind of thought, yeah, I don't know, Amsterdam is a big airport, Flight Tampa's still a really good scenery. Are people going to want to, are they going to want to watch that? I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, there's lots of airports we could do. There's still airports that confuse me, so we could maybe do some more. Let me put the ILS in while I'm sitting here merrily chatting to you boys. Right. Now, the Q400 does not like acute VNAV turns or LNAV turns like this one, and sometimes it craps out, so I might have to vector us from this point, but we'll see. So, are we making a turn? Come on, make the turn. Make the turn. Yes. No. See? Stupid aeroplane. Right, okay. Let's descend 2,000. Actually, 1,500 is enough. Let's slow down. Oh, ice detected as well. Right, on, and ref speed on, and fast. Okay. Right. God, it's all happening a bit fast. Let me get the ILS in before we crash. So 111.75. Go 75. 111. Oops. 75. Okay, cool. Right. Now, where are we? So, airport's over there. Digital Design Liverpool, which is all good. How are we looking? How are we looking? Icing's gone, so let me turn that. Oh, not that one. Let me turn that off. That off and those off. What else haven't we done? Done the ILS. We can leave that in. Oh, I need to put the inbound course in and not stall. God, I forgot how hard this aeroplane is to fly. Inbound course at Liverpool is 267. 267. There we go. That's fine. I'll just leave it. Oh, I'll do it on this side as well. Because I feel kind. 257, 267. Come on. There we go. Right, and then hold down format, and then that should go back. There we go. Right, cool. Not fly too slowly. Right. What else have we done? Haven't put the minimums in. Minimums are 278. We're in cloud again. It's going to ice up again, isn't it? 280. That's close enough. And let me put the V approach in. Flat 15, 26, and 16. I'm just using the takeoff weight from when we left Bristol. Because I know we've used a bit of fuel. Right. Okay. Now, let's get down, because we're very high. So, 3,000... outsell, vertical speed 2,000. Okay, that's a bit high actually. 1,500 is enough. Ooh, this mouse wheel is really sensitive. It's more sensitive than I remember it being. Also, we're going to turn on the hydraulics for the arrival and the fuel pump 1 and 2, but not the auto feather. In case you're wondering why they don't turn on the auto feather, it's because it's not certified for landing in the Q400. So if you take off and you lose an engine, obviously then the prop is out in the airstream and it's going to slow you down because it's a lot of drag, so you want the prop to feather quickly to go flush with the airflow to not slow you down. On the arrival, obviously it's not quite as critical, and Bombardier obviously didn't want to pay for it to be certified, so that's why you don't use it for landing, in case you're wondering. Right, chime the cabin crew, non-existent cabin crew. Let's say we've been cleared to land, and that's one less thing for me to worry about. I need to do the bleeds in a minute, but we'll get back to that. Where's the runway? Okay, runway's over there. There's the runway. I am actually talking to you from a house just here. Right now. I'm at my parents' house in Widnes in Cheshire, just over there. Notice that we had a little frame rate drop there. That's the first time the frame rate's dropped in the whole flight. Right, let me pull the power off. I mean, we're doing alright actually, aren't we? So we've got an extended centre line there. Now I could, if you remember back to the training, the way to draw an extended centre line into the dash is you go to Nav, Maneuver, PVOR, and then select the centre fix of the runway, so 19, and then the inbound radial, but we've already got one, so I don't need to draw one. I'm going to leave this in, I'm leaving the nav source as the FMS because it's giving me a VNAV path down to the runway, and as soon as I turn the nav source to ILS that will disappear, although it would be probably useful to have the glide slope at this point in time, but it's alright, it's fine. So you see that's coming up, so now, or any minute now, what I'm going to do, as soon as we drop below that VNAV path, I'm going to make a left turn. So it's kind of handy just to leave that there. I imagine we're probably getting, there's Georgia Bank, I imagine we're getting a bit close to Manchester now. In real life they'd be getting a bit angry with us, but it's alright, it's all good. Right, so now, put the nav source to ILS, and we've just got to intercept the ILS and not crash. That's basically it. The platform altitude, is it 2,000 Liverpool? I think it is. Sorry I'm not talking in the chat, boys, but this is the dash. It is going to try and kill us, so bear with me. Bear with me, boys. I'll be with you. Right, okay. There we go. 2,001 to go. Out south. Good, good, good. There is Fiddler's Ferry Power Station, which has just closed down. They just turned it off about 3 weeks ago. The last generator, which is quite cool. What's in the chat? Who's talking?
2500.
Looking forward to it yesterday. Weird runway. Yes, the weird layout at Amsterdam is all about noise. It's a very, very noise-sensitive airport. So yeah, we covered all that in the program. Right, I'm going to go flaps. What is it? 5? Yes, 5 in this thing. I'm going to press approach. Okay, why do we not? Oh, because the glide slope's not in yet. That's why. Because it says lock, but it doesn't say glide slope. That's weird. And there's no DME, which is also weird. Okay. Might be running into a flight sim foobar here, boys. But let's wait and see. It'll get the lock, so that's fine. As long as it gets the lock, I can probably get us on the ground. What's the inbound course, did I say? 267? That'll do. So, hopefully we get a glide slope at some point. So you actually see them where, because my parents live over here, on the Widnes, on the Cheshire side. Well, this is also Cheshire, I suppose. Okay, come on. Flew right through the localizer. Come on, turn right. What's it doing? What's it doing? What's it doing? Do I have the right inbound course? Yes. The airport's over there. It just flew through the localizer. Alright. Okay. We're going to turn this way. It's in lock! Stupid aeroplane. Alright, we're going to try that again. Have I done everything properly? Let me just check I've got... Oh! It's 111.75. Oh, stupid man. That's why. Well, what is the what on earth was the localizer we were tracking? What was that? Okay, so I put one in, right. Okay, so it was right on his side, but it was wrong on my side. Okay, so it's not a stupid airplane; it's a stupid pilot. 111.75, Ben boy. 267. Right, we'll try that again. God, it's no wonder Flyby went bust, is it? There we go. Right, so let's press approach. Yes, that's better. We've got lock and glide slope now, which is what I expected. Ah, Danny, how are you, man? I'm good, mate. I'm really good. Sorry to hear about Jet 2, fella. Just talking with Danny on the chat, who is cabin crew, was cabin crew. So hope you're doing all right, fella. Well, so far so good in V5. When we land, I'm going to have a look at the sim brief. The landing weight, what we should have landed with. And I'm going to go into the weight and balance section of P3D. And I'm going to have a look what the actual aircraft weight is, or what it's reporting back. Because it leapt off the runway in Bristol, which makes me a bit suspicious, and it flew really weird. It was like really like jittery. So I suspect that there's something weird going on with the weight. I did, because I'm on the Q400 beta team, and I did ask a few questions about the control panel, and then I don't think they're 100% certain that it's all working as it should right now. There might be a little problem there. Right, still don't have a glide slope, which is weird. 9 miles. Oh, we do now. Okay, there we are. Going to put a little disclaimer and say that I only have a little, really crappy little joystick. I don't have all the stuff that I used for the Q400 programs on me, so I'm afraid don't be upset by my terrible landing, because it will probably be awful, because I haven't flown this plane in the longest time. Right, reduced NP landing, that's done. We can go now to flap, what is it, 15? Yes. And reduce back to VREF, which is 126. But I'm going to fly a bit above that. Right. Is that it? I feel like I've forgotten something. So life protection, landing gear down, condition levers, flaps and bleeds. Right. Okay. Here we go. Here goes nothing. So this is the... Oh, the Runcorn Bridge has disappeared. That's kind of weird. It has the railway bridge, but the old one, the one that looks a bit like the Sydney Harbour... Whoopsie. See, this is what happens when you ignore the dash for like 2 seconds. It tries to kill you. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Well, that's quite cool. So yeah, it's like our own little mini version of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And then these are all kind of factories and stuff like that here as well. And the house I'm talking to you from is just there. That's quite cool. Right. Now, I don't think I have an autopilot disconnect mapped to my joystick. I don't think. Let me... No. Don't. It's what happens when you do a stream and not plan it in advance. So... There we go. Right, we've got dual FD, which means that we tune the ILS on both sides. You'll only see that if you tune it on the left and the right. Everything else looks good. The only thing that can go wrong is me.
1,000.
Thank you. Checked. Bad workman blames his tools. You're right there, Danny. Really impressed with Truearth though. It's really good. I mean, anyone, I'm from the Northwest, although I haven't lived here in a long time, but anyone who knows the Northwest will recognise all these landmarks. That's the Welsh mountains over there. It's very good. It's very good. Right. I should probably embarrass myself now with a bit of landing, should I? Right, okay. Let's see if I can land with this $20 joystick?
500.
I think the answer will be no. Okay, get a little bit low, pull up a bit. Oopsie. And there's no wind as well. Like, there is no excuse. One slightly weird thing is that Easy Dock does some weird. When we touch down, it looks like we're having some kind of fit. So just be prepared for that, boys. Right, this isn't looking too bad.
40, 30.
Is it going to be butter?
20.
Is it going to be butter?
10.
No. Wow. There we go, and we're down. Okay. I did warn you about the head thing, right? I know my landing didn't really help, but whatever. Right, let's brake. Can we make this one? Yes. Just about. Alright. Cool. Yeah. I told you not to expect anything great from the landing. Now, you're noticing the weird thing with V5. If you've not got V5 yet, it renders weird objects around stuff on the ground. So you see how the trees have these weird little flickery textures around them? You get that. This is like the clouds rendering around objects on the ground. It's a bit weird. I don't quite know why it does that, but it's a strange V5 thing. I don't quite understand why. Right, let me... we'll go left here, right here, and then I will stop and we'll do all the after landing stuff. And there's someone that should invent, right, and maybe someone in the chat can tell me if this is possible, but you know, like FS2 crew, and you tell him to say clean up, and he puts the flaps up and does the lights and all that. Is it possible to do that with FSU IPC? Just, you know, create a little, is it a mouse macro or whatever? Is it possible to do that? Right, I think it's... What's the cleanup actions? Is it Pito's? I can't remember. I think that's fine. Main bus tie, that needs to go on. Fuel pumps come off. Hydraulic pumps stay on. Gas lock comes on. They go up. And... Did I forget something? Control lock. Oh yeah, anti-collision light. That'd be good. Red. Weather radar we didn't have. Flaps are up, fuel pumps are off, flight taxis and taxi, ice protection, that is off and that can stay on, otherwise we'll fog up. Main bus tie to tie and the yaw damper off. Right, that's it. Yeah, a little clean-up action would be quite good, especially in an aeroplane like this where there's a lot to do. It'd be quite good just to press a key and then, you know, you can continue taxiing and the aeroplane just configures itself. That would be quite nice. Because it's, you know, saves you having to do it while you're taxiing and crash, or having to stop, which obviously you wouldn't do in the real airplane. I mean, in the real airplane you would land a bit better than I did. But I don't know why my mouse panning is not smooth, which is weird. I'll need to fix that. It's another little problem. I use EasyDock rather than chase plane, by the way. I just find it smoother. The mouse pan is just a lot smoother on EasyDock, in my humble opinion. Right, I could call the GSX marshaller, but should I? I just feel like it. I can't be bothered. I can't cope with the meme that is GSX right now. Sorry, GSX. Right, that'll do. Let's have a look outside. Oh, that's not bad. I'm on the line. Look at that. All right, and stop. Right, shut down. Right, brake on. And these go to stop. No, not there. No. Oh God. No. Oh God. See, look. One click, Ben. Right, there we are. Right, shut down, park and brake on, hydraulic power pumps, and PTU, disc feather, nose wheel steering off, Weather radar's off, transponder and TCAS into standby. Bleeds, min, and off. GPU, APU. Oh, I didn't start yet. Let me start the APU real quick. Did a loop. There we are. And I'll turn the bleeder on. And then condition levers can come to fuel off. And the APU should be on any second now. So we'll leave it on the batteries for a moment. And... oh yeah, taxi light. And then when the props have stopped, which they have, we can put that to there. Right. Let's have the sys page and sys and then doors and then back to sys and there we go. Right, cancel that. Cancel that. Stop the chrono. So many bongs and beeps. I'll open a door or two. Simulate them all running away. I don't know why the elevators. You see the elevators were up then. There's something weird going on with my controls. Anyway. Right, we have arrived. So let me go back to the chat. What have we got? What have we got? Let me whiz back through the chat. Danny, gutted mate, industry just insane at the moment, safe and healthy. Yeah. So Danny's a top guy. If you don't know, Danny was working for Thomas. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Danny. So Danny was working for Thomas Cook, and then obviously they closed, and then you went to Jet 2, right? And I guess they don't need people right now, so that's just horrible, man. I'm sorry about that. Daniel D, can you explain how to turn off the auto throttle on the Airbus? Yeah, in the course we explain it all. You basically press the button, and you have to move the thrust lever. It's because Airbus designed you not to switch it off, basically. Who else we got? Kelvis is explaining the how you do it, so good job. A320 sim, my back, my neck, ouch. Injury insurance kicking in. Still remember doing that. I'll take it. Yeah, the condition levers is just rubbish. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, sorry, Danny, mate. I'm really gutted to hear what happened with Jet 2, but I mean, it's just a bloodbath. Obviously, since I started Airline to Sim, I know lots and lots of pilots, lots of people in the industry, and everyone is just having a really rough time. Even people who've been in the industry for years are really not in a good place right now, so it's just bad. It's bad all around. Anyway, I was going to check the fuel and payload. Now, according to the SimBrief OFP, we should... our landing weight... where's the weights? God, I haven't done this for a long time. Right, landing weight should have been 25.8. So... max gross... or gross weight, 25.9. So that's within 100 kilos of the SimBrief one. So we did take off at the right weight. What I don't understand is why at Bristol we leapt off the runway. I don't understand. It rotated about 10 knots below VR, and I don't understand why it did that. Because the Q400, the one thing about it, it's always been like absolutely spot on in terms of the weights and the V speeds and all that. It flies just like the book, like the fuel burn, everything is super accurate. So why it did that at Bristol, I don't know. I wonder whether something's changed in V5. I don't know. I need to fly it a bit more and find out. Anyway, right, boys, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I might do a little stream again. Tomorrow I don't have anything else to do. I don't have lots of work to do for various radio stations around the world. So we're going to do another little flyby trip tomorrow. We're going to go from here up to Edinburgh, and then from Edinburgh back down to Manchester. We might do a couple of legs tomorrow. And I'll try and fix that weird head thing when you land, because that was a bit weird. And also I'm not convinced the controls are all calibrated properly, because there were some weird things going on with the elevators as well. So anyway, yeah, there was also something going on, you know, the takeoff warning. Like in Bristol, it kept showing the takeoff warning even though everything was set. So I wonder whether there's something weird going on with my controllers. You know what Sim's like. You know what it's like. You set it all up, it all works perfectly, and then 10 minutes later it's broken. The APU gen wasn't on, by the way, so we're sitting here with the batteries on. I think the Q400 would have flattened its battery by now. Anyway, nice one, guys. Thanks for joining us, and subscribe, and I'll catch you back here for another cheeky little stream tomorrow. All right, bye.